Hey guys, Ryan Blair here at Kaizink, and today I'm showing you how to distress graphics for screen print. So I've got the full-size artwork ready to go already. And then what I did was I went to our Adobe stock account, and under free, I just typed in distress, and then I set it to vectors, and I found one that I felt would be good for the style of distress that we're going for, which the customer's looking for kind of like a bigger, chunkier distress than more of like a fine, gritty distress texture. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select our distress, and we're going to use the eyedrop tool, and we're just going to sample the color of the shirt, just like that. And I is the eyedrop tool. And then we're going to go over to swatches, and we're going to click on the color that we just filled it with, and we're going to do new swatch. And we're going to change that to a spot color, and we're going to call it do not print. That way, once it gets to SEP Studio, this will show up as a color, and the darkroom could just go ahead and delete it. So what we're going to do next here is I'm going to select the graphic in which we are going to distress, and I'm going to copy it, and then just so it doesn't move around on me, copy as Control C. We're going to lock the graphic, so we're going to do a Control 2 to lock it. Now you can see it's locked. So now I'm going to paste in place, which is Control Shift V. Okay, so now we've got it pasted into place. And now what we're going to do, let me scooch this down a little bit. We're going to create a compound path, which is basically going to treat all of those different elements in there as one element. So we're going to go to Object, Compound Path, Make. Okay. And then we're just going to make sure that that's on the top layer. So Control Shift right bracket will bring it to front. And now at this point, we can just go ahead and drag our distress pattern over the graphic and making sure that we have full coverage. So we're going from the top of the graphic down to the bottom. And so now with that selected, you're going to hold down Shift and click on that compound path that we created. So now we got both of them. And now we're going to right click and make a clipping mask. And now you can see that we've got this cool distress pattern going on. And at this point, what we're going to do is, we're going to Object, Unlock All. That will unlock our graphic down below. And let's say you didn't quite like the placement of this distress. You could just double click into it to get to the isolation mode. Whoops. That's not going to work. There you go. Double click in it to get to the isolation mode. Don't triple click like I just did. And at this point, once you see that you have just the distress pattern selected, you're good to just move it around within the clipping mask, and you can see that the placement changed. And so where I drug it to right now, this may be a little heavy on the text, so I'm just going to bring it back with a Control Z. That way some of the text is still knocked out, but it should still be pretty legible. And we'll find out in just a second. So now we're just going to select both of them by holding left click and just kind of dragging over both. We're going to group it. That way we can move these both around at the same time. Once we get it on the shirt, if we did want to play around with it a little bit more, you can just go ahead and ungroup and double click to get back into isolation mode. At this point, since this is full size, we're going to divide it by 10 like we normally would. And go ahead and line it up to where it should be on the template here. And depending on how intense that distress is, it may look a little bit crazy. Or actually, it might slow your computer down like crazy. So, I think I'm cool with that. We're also going to show them a white version, as that blue doesn't really have a whole lot of contrast on that shirt, but the customer did want to see it like that. So yeah, that is how you add distress to a design for for screen print and graphic design. Thanks for watching.